Have you ever thought of praying that God take this away from me?
Yes,
You have.
when I was younger especially. It's something that I've never said publicly, but I'll say it here. You know how people will now say, you go to church and people say, do something you couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
I would always try to stand on one leg to see if I've got my balance. It never came. That question now brings us to the crux of it. When it comes to neurodiversity especially, to what extent is it a disability or is it part of your identity? So for example, everyone knows that you are black and you are a man, but you will never say, God, please change my race or change my gender. Like, you wouldn't do that. Then to say change dyspraxia or change my autism, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, people would then say, but it's not an identity, it's a disability, so why can't we pray against that? It's a very nuanced, challenging, difficult conversation. And for me, I go back to the word. The word, dyspraxia is not in the word. Autism is not in the word. His word says that my mind is beautifully and wonderfully made. So it's irrespective of what you define it, I have to go back to the word. But dyspraxia is packaging. But I know that I serve a God that can say, you know what, this challenge dyspraxia, I'm going to take it away. He can do that. But then he hasn't yet. Nothing should be your identity but God. When I talked about dyspraxia, I talked about the challenges. But if you think about it, there's also strengths. But what we're talking about in neurodiversity now is that these words of dyspraxia, ADHD, it's just ways that human beings are describing what your brain is like. It's a characteristic of your brain. So it's not actually supposed to be a disability. It's just characteristic in your brain. So it's like, there's 8 billion people, 8 billion different brains in this world.
Yeah.
But we've created our world to kind of fit everybody average. Remember the bell curve?
Yeah.
So people who are neurodivergent are at the end of the bell curve. And because of that, the world hasn't necessarily been designed for them. So that's what the main advocacy is.
I see.
So because of that variation, we know that God is a God of diversity. I often say that God is a God of diversity, and because He's a God of diversity, He gets to dictate the parameters of what diversity should look like.